Hello and happy Monday everyone! Welcome back to Planet Zoo, the Aquatic Pack and the Aquatic Dome. Today, actually a little bit surprising because I didn't plan to do it this way, but you guys made me do it because you guys keep smashing these comments and you were all asking for the gray seal again, so here we go with a gray seal habitat. In comparison to what I've done in Yosemite, this is totally different. But first of all, I need your help today. We need to get a little bit of a brainstorming going on, okay? Because at this point in time, I am having a little bit of a crazy going on, kind of crazy. How do you even call that? Like crazy marathon, I would call it even, building in Planet Zoo. So at this point in time, the Aquatic Dome is nearly done, and Yosemite is also nearly done, I would say. So quite a lot of stuff, but I want to do something for Christmas, I want to do something for the winter times, and I would love to hear your opinion on that, because lately, I mean, not only lately, but in general, you guys have been, oh my god, you've been amazing in terms of suggestions and stuff. As I just put on my community wall, these were really good suggestions. And please keep them coming in the comments down below. I really would love to hear what you guys think would be nice, what you love to see. I was thinking about doing some cool landscaping stuff, making really sure that we have a very nice winter wonderland-ish stuff. Maybe with some reindeers. I think we haven't never covered reindeers as a habitat. And then maybe have like a kind of a little ice lake in which we could have potentially some seals as big animals, that are swimming in there. We could make like a glacier, ice, I don't know, ice skiing rig, whatever, kind of stuff like that. But really, I don't know, that's just like a very, very first rough idea I had. So please let me know. But now we have to talk about this habitat because it is quite different from what I've done in Yosemite, and there are several reasons why. So first of all, the reason why this is not like Yosemite is pretty much because I never want to duplicate my stuff and just do the same thing over again. And also because Yosemite was obviously already done in the past and I had no idea what exactly the game is offering. So this over here is going to be a bit more leaned towards some actual realistic zoo stuff that you would see. So this inside area, so the indoor area of the seal habitat is going to be a little bit more themed, and it is like almost like a little pier area. I don't know if you would even call that like, I would love to say California, but I think it could also be like Alaska or Canada. I don't know. I just didn't really want to go to a particular style. I just wanted to have this little pier harbor area kind of thing with some fake buildings that are basically just some scenery objects in the back wall, and they're especially meant to be just little shelters for some props for the staff members, maybe not even big enough for actually housing a, let's say, staff building or something else. It could just be like a little shelter where you have some toys for the animals inside or stuff like that. This could be something, but just in general, I wanted to make sure that this is kind of something nice looking for the guest inside. So pretty much that's what it is. I wanted to make sure that the guest can see it, and oh boy, you cannot imagine how much I struggled here with the dome. So I just altered the design a little bit. I made like this little double gate over here, where I pulled off the wall a little bit to make the wall a bit more thick. And I think this is just also very nice because this offers me a bit more space actually to make the connection between inside and outside, because this habitat will be rather huge. I just wanted to make sure that all of my animals get the space that they require. So the otter habitat is relatively big, as we talked about it in the episode. It is not in games my English is broken. Not in game perspective, it's great, but it's like very big in terms of realism aspects, because there's just so much problems with the traversable area, just because I built so intricate that the game doesn't calculate this area as traversable, and hence not enough space for the animals available. But just like, if you look at it from a realism standpoint, it definitely is a lot more realistic in the size available, because in fact in reality these animals could go a lot more into the rock sides and stuff like that. They could just climb everywhere and just enjoy their time. But yeah. And this one over here, I wanted to give them enough space. And also, we still have a little bit of an issue because these animals have a very hard time going over rocks, and I just don't want to go in how long it took me to make sure that everyone can access everything in here. It was a huge struggle, to to get this all done. And in the end, I succeeded, but I needed to alter the design quite a few times, to be honest. And you can see I'm putting rocks like in here, and we just have a little glimpse in here in the future habitat for the dwarf caiman. This is just at the moment for me just to get an idea where it is. This is just not final, obviously, and there's just a little bit of a nice little touch here and there. Sometimes I need to do these things just to make sure that in my head I have already an idea of how the other area looks like, because then I can make the transition into the area of the seals a bit better. So I'm just, as you can see, I'm just moving stuff around here, just making sure that everything is nicely and clean, and you know, I also ended up then having like a green wall. This is also a little trick I love to use, because to separate areas, you can always use these plaster pieces to make the back wall in a color that just kind of blends in nicely to your environment. That way you basically enclose this all a bit more nice, you reduce the noise around people, and you make the whole picture seem to be a bit more calm, a bit more seamless, and yeah, just making sure that the color and the tone is basically the same. As you can see over here, I was really struggling, but I managed in the end to make sure that every single rock is covered, so that on one side you only have the very nice tropical stuff, and on the other hand side it's more like the ice, winter-ish stuff. And I think this really reduced the noise around here quite dramatically, which I think is a big win for us. You can see I was trying a little bit of a few things here, if we can get more light in, but in fact it really didn't work out, and so I just left it where it was. And yeah, I think I will just do it this way, because there is no way making more light. I did some testing here with these lights, indoor lights. It looks pretty cool at night, but it doesn't really look that nice at daytime. So I left them in here as a little lighting element for midnight, but everything else is just like, nah, you know, I just don't like it. So this is what I just did. I put all these lights in here, made sure that everything is lit nicely. It looks kind of cool at nighttime, to be honest. It looks fairly decent, but it doesn't really look that great at daytime, simply because it's not bright enough inside. And yeah, I think as great as the lighting is in this game, Frontier could really work a little bit more on the inside lighting, because I don't know why, it just looks a little bit boring, a little bit dull, I guess it's the word I was looking for. I don't know, it just could, you know, use a bit more lighting. And yes, I mean, of course, I think the ray tracing and stuff would be something that this could benefit from, but I think it might be a little bit too much asked to have a game like that with ray tracing. That would actually just destroy the last couple of FPS left, I guess. So nah, I think this is I don't know. So it's actually, yeah, I don't know, well, could be changed, I guess. But now we come to a little bit of a, you know, very cool part over here, because I think this wall over here is something that I wanted to do for a very long time, and you have seen me doing this with the night house in Yosemite quite a few months ago, but it doesn't clearly look as good as this looks over here. So this new little rock piece is insane, like this little cobble piece or whatever. You can make these typical cobble wall stuff like that, and I really, really, really love this. It's just, I don't know, it just gives me the vibe of these kind of walls I see all over the place in I don't know, it's just like theme parks and parks, and just in general, you know. And yeah, I mean, you know that I love this piece over here. I love the freaking grass planter, whatever this is, but it just looks so cool. Even though it's artificial, it just looks amazing. And then I figured, you know what, I could put the waterfall in here and make it run through these stones, and I think it looks fairly decent. I am like a really big fan of how this turned out, and I just then also covered up the back side of it, because simply you didn't want to have the waterfalls seem to be open, and also I wanted to have this wall a bit more thick anyways. So that's kind of a cool little element of design here. And the reason why I put this here, and I will change it a little bit more in the future, is that I wanted to make sure that the overall area here gets like a visual path, if that makes sense, towards the entrance of the dome. Because there's one, it's not an issue, but there's one thing about the dome that I struggled a little bit with, and this is the main entrance to the dome. Usually you do have like an entrance that is nicely designed, has like a big opening and stuff like that. And my entrance almost looks like a side entrance, you know, just something that is not as bold, not as big. But for me personally, I always thought this to be a dome that could also be part of an actual zoo. You know, it's not an own standing area to go into. For me personally, this was more like a separate area of an already existing zoo. Hence, I didn't want to give it too much of a show stealer, so to say, and too much of an attention to the entrance, and so I made it a little bit more reduced. However, you need something to drag the guests into the entrance. So if you talk about any park design, basically, not only zoos or theme parks, just any park design where you want to make people move in a certain pathway, journey, way, and this whole dome has a very much tour style. You know, it's a one-way direction thing, and even though this all doesn't matter for the game mechanics, just for me personally, I'd like to think that you need this visual guidance for the guest to make sure that they automatically go where they are meant to be going. You know, you don't want them to go the wrong way around, because that kind of creates some traffic jams between your people, create some unnecessary crowds create noise create disturbance for animals and makes animals less happy. Well, in fact, that makes them actually go pretty much annoyed by all the guests, so that's something we don't want. And so you want to make people go one direction, and simply because you basically do this in real life as well, you make sure that the guests automatically, just by default, find the right entrances and stuff. And this is why I decided to have this big stone wall that just curls around towards the entrance, and there will be a few more little items that make you automatically catch the entrance and that you want to go inside, and I don't need to even tell you to go inside because you naturally do it already. I hope this makes sense, because it's something very important, and you see this all over the place in theme parks and in normal parks, in zoos, and even on fairgrounds and stuff like that. They have techniques like this. Not always though, but most of them do. But yeah, one thing I need to mention before we jump into a real-time part, the Speedbuild today is not covering the entire habitat. This has two different reasons. Reason number one is being it was just way too much for one episode. It's just like very long because I didn't do this in one go. Reason number two, I couldn't do it in one go because I was waiting for a lot of things to happen in the meantime in this whole build. I was testing a few things, I was making sure that everything works accordingly, and at this point in time I haven't decided, I didn't decide fully on if I wanted to keep the layout the way I wanted it, and I might have changed the water volumes a little bit, but then I didn't, fortunately enough, and so I didn't want to finish it just yet because I wasn't sure what exactly I want to do exactly at which location. So this is why I needed to stop, but I will explain this a bit better in the real-time part because we are already very close to the real-time part. I hope you enjoyed the speed build so far. In case you guys just caught on this video now, there is a whole bunch of other videos available from this dome. This is already episode number 4, so make sure to check out also episode number 1, 2, and 3, which are all in the info bubble to your top right if you want, or you can just click the playlist. But now let's jump over into the real-time part and have a look how this whole habitat looks in action. Alrighty guys, here we are in the real-time part, and I've just a little gathering over here of people, of my friends, the gray seals. They're all together. There was just like some food on the ground. The reason why there is no food anymore, or why there's no food tray, is basically because I want them to swim. But I have a new theory, guys. I have a new theory, and this theory has to do with guests actually in the zoo. And this is why I opened the zoo, and I'm really hoping that they will actually react to them. As you can see, there are some animals already swimming over here in the outside part. This pier over here is not done yet fully, of course. I just wanted to make the people go here just for a moment. I really hope that they keep on going inside the dome as well, because at this, you know what we do? I think we just do something here to make sure that this doesn't happen. I'm just going to quickly delete this and bring them all over. I'll be back within a second. Alright, there we go. Now I just basically brought them all back, and now they start going in. And this is what I meant, by the way, by the little visual guidance. So you can see this thing is like going swooping around here inside of the dome. So this is what you do. And this is kind of really cool, and you can also tell that the animals over here, they like when I had the guests over here, the animals were like all running into the water. I'm really waiting now to see what happens as soon as the guests go down here, but we are not taking too much care of it right now. We are basically looking at what I've built. So this is the whole thing you can see now from the inside. I'm just gonna quickly turn it nighttime for you so you can see with the lighting. It looks pretty cool, to be honest. Also, the water from above doesn't look that cool, but if you're down in the water, that looks pretty cool. We do go down into the viewing gallery in a second, but I'm really much in love with how this looks, you know, pretty nighttime view and stuff. That looks really decent. We go back to a little bit more daylight. So here we go. And now, if we have a little look into the gallery down here, I changed a few things, and this was according to some feedback, but also when I was looking into a few things, I figured that the wall down here doesn't really look clean enough for me, and so what I did now, I changed the design with some big old panels and just keeping it very open and very nice so that people can actually see a lot. And if we go over here, you can see there's even like a way better view, and if guests go a bit closer, and unfortunately we do have the water effect going on because the water volume is not like perfectly fine aligned, but you know, mostly, but you can actually look above, which I think is pretty dang cool, because the people can actually go there. They don't have the problem with the water effect, so they can go all the way until here, and then they have a look up into the air, and then they basically, or into the water I should say, and they basically see the animals diving, if they even would, because at this point they don't. Now we can only hope that they just don't throw the fish down here as they do, which is a bit of a pity. But yeah, I really hope that as soon as the people are more inside of the dome and they manage to finally get there, that this is going to be better. I love this, by the way. This is not even swimming, it's like underwater rubbing. What is that? Where are you going? Excuse me? Are you going on an adventure? I think you're going on an adventure, right? Yeah, never mind. I'll get you back soon. I'll get you back soon. Okay, but this is mainly the habitat, guys. And you can see this is how it shapes up from above. We do have the backstage area, which I haven't taken any care of right now. I will do so in the future, though. I will put a lot more care into this area. I'm even thinking of making like a little bit of a terrace restaurant piece outside here or something else, just for the guests also to witness the penguins a bit better. I don't want them to see the seals from over there, so we are going to close this area off with some stones or whatever. I hope this is going to look neat. And then can we just let me just see what happens if I throw you in here. There you go. And I'm gonna throw you in here too, because clearly you're hungry, so maybe you want to get the food then from the water, because that's definitely closer to you. That's definitely now closer to you guys. So this would be awesome. You don't do anything, right? Is there actually maybe an issue because that is the older save? No, it's still working, which is okay. Let me see if this thing is having a go now. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good because I want them to see. It also seems like they need to learn that they can get something down here, and as soon as the people are moving down here and there is a lot more crowdiness going on. So see, the penguins have reacted already. This is kind of cool. The penguins have reacted and they start swimming down here now as guests are all over the place. And the same happened to me with the seals last time when I was recording my review. This dude is just not having it. It's not vibing. But the others are coming too now. So this is kind of cool. So it seems to take a little while until the guests are around, and then the animals start moving around a bit more in the end habitat. But just look at the view. I am so much in love with this habitat, guys. I am really happy about this habitat. I'm not gonna lie. It's really one of my coolest indoor habitats I've ever done. I also need to check if we can somehow get some better sunlight in. Yeah, I mean just a little bit though, but at least this dude over here is now chilling a little bit in the sunlight. Look at this. Look at this. This looks kind of cool, to be honest. Just like having this fake area in here, just like this little... Oh, look at the fur and stuff. It's so fluffy. I like it. Everyone's running to the fish now. And that one is just chilling. Oh my god, this is legit so cool. She's just having some rubbish, some trash in the hands. Also cool. But yeah, oh my god. Now, I mean, this is kind of cool from like an inside view. This is really dang cool. I really would love them to be diving a bit more to the inside, but I will figure this out. I will make this work, guys. I'm not even worried too much. But yeah, this is actually how it looks in a total overview. Look at that. Wait. Did you just throw your trash in here? I thought so for a second. But yeah, so this is how it looks, by the way, underwater. I think it's looking fairly clean with the fiberglass and I don't know, it's not fiberglass, it's just like the transparent glass panels and then some cool back panels over here and a bit of snow and ice, and you know, we will have to make some bubble effect like here, and we need to make some more mist effects and stuff just to make it look a bit better. But I just want to make sure that the animals can use this area a bit more nice, which they can, they just don't do it all the time. But yeah, so you can see more of them are coming over. I'm just going to speed up a little and see if we can actually see them diving in here. Okay, never mind. The seals are not really willing to do anything for me today. You know, living creatures and stuff, you know, you can never make them do what you want. Also, can please Planet Coaster music be a bit lower here? That's insane. But they seem to be enjoying the outside area quite a lot. And this proves again to be the same as I always said. We do have one area that is actually more than 4 meters and they seem to be diving. Whilst this area here is not 4 meters, but the animals have no issue whatsoever to dive down here, which is pretty interesting to understand. But yeah, so for now this should be it, guys. Quite a long real-time part. I really hope you enjoyed. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, and again, please let me know your ideas for like a little winter special and what else you want to see. And one more thing, in case you guys want to see another game on the channel, because I really want to feature another game, please let me know your suggestions in the comments, what you would love to see. I will have a look into this and maybe we can do something. But anyways, stay safe everyone. I talk to you in the next one and have a great week ahead. Goodbye everyone.